Here we go. So, just summing up what it is that we did earlier. We said that it's all about trade, and we said that in principle there are a variety of ways, there are a variety of reasons that trade is a good thing, blah blah blah. But one thing we said about was all about the idea of specialisation, and we said there are two key concepts. One concept is what's called absolute advantage. Absolute advantage is really simple. What that means is that an economy has higher productivity. It's as simple as that. So all it really means is that output per worker is greater in this economy than it is elsewhere. So it has higher output per worker. We then talked about the idea of comparative advantage. And what we said is that it might be the case that one country is better in some sense, but it's not likely to be relatively better. So comparative advantage simply means that you are, if I'm better at one thing but much better at the other, then it's the second thing that I have the comparative advantage in. And the way we find that out is we calculate what's called opportunity cost. And you have a comparative advantage if you can produce a good at lower opportunity cost than the other country. And we then said that trade can then take place if countries have different opportunity costs, although we said there were reasons that might not be the case, and that the terms of trade, the rate at which trade will occur, will be between those two opportunity cost ratios. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at an example. So if we take I don't know, whatever. France, and Italy. There's no reason not to be wholly stereotypical. So let's have pasta and let's have garlic. And let's suppose that we look at what one worker can do. In both France and Germany. In France, let's suppose that one worker can make 30 kilos of pasta or 60 kilos of garlic. Let's suppose in Italy, a worker can produce 20 kilos of pasta, or 80 or whatever, or 20 kilos of garlic. Who has absolute advantage? That's our first question. Let's look at pasta. Who has absolute advantage? Answer, the French do. Because one worker in France can produce 30 kilos of pasta, whereas in Italy they can only produce 20. Who has absolute advantage in garlic? The answer is, again, it's the French. One worker in France can produce 60 kilos of garlic per day or whatever. Whereas in Italy, they can only produce 20. So France is absolutely better at producing both of these two goods. However, trade is still possible. And to work that out, we have to work out the opportunity cost ratios. And the way we do that is we simply, the simplest way is to set it out as, sort of as an equation, but don't let that freak you out. What we're saying is that in France, 30 kilos of pasta costs, that's what we give up, 60 kilos of garlic. Or we could say 30 kilos of pasta equals 60 kilos of garlic. So what does 1 kilo of pasta cost or equal? Divided by 30. So we divide the pasta by 30, we divide that by 30, it costs 2 kilos of garlic. So the opportunity cost of 1 kilo of pasta in France is 2 kilos of garlic. If we then do the same thing, for Italy, then we can say, well, let's look at this. We can say that again, if we run it down here, we can say that 20 kilos of pasta costs or equals, up to you, 20 kilos of garlic. Therefore, 1 kilo of pasta costs 1 kilo of garlic as divided through by 20. So therefore, who can produce pasta at the lowest cost. In the case of France, 1 kilo of pasta costs 2 kilos of garlic. For Italy, 1 kilo of pasta costs 1 kilo of garlic. Therefore, actually, it is the case that Italy has comparative advantage in the production of pasta, and therefore, because the numbers are just reversed, France will have comparative advantage in the production of garlic. Yeah, you can work out the numbers if you like, but what you'll find is that if you do it the other way around, 1 garlic costs Italy 1 kilo of pasta, whereas in the case of France, 1 kilo of garlic costs half a kilo of pasta, which is lower. So, what we can now see is that, again, if I scroll there, this is all in your OneNote, by the way. I'll put the link in with it if you actually want to scroll through these things. I've taken more than 5 minutes. Sorry. So therefore we're saying that in France, 1 pasta, costs 2 garlic. In Italy, 1 pasta costs 1 garlic. So Italy's going to produce pasta. They're going to sell it to France. They will want at least 1 garlic back themselves. Sorry, there was at least 1 garlic back from France because they can produce pasta at a cost of 1 garlic. So it doesn't make much sense to sell it to you for less than that. But the French will pay at most 2 garlic for a pasta because, again, they can make pasta themselves. Therefore, the ratio of exchange will be between 1 pasta for 1 garlic is the least, and 1 pasta for 2 garlic at most. So an example might therefore be 1 pasta for 1.5 garlic. Right, I'll shut up now. Sorry, took too long. So I'm giving you some questions. Have a go at those. Ping me on Teams if you're not sure.